All right, well, the big one is FrankfortCon. It's happening Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Capitol Plaza Hotel. And we have Carmine De Santo and Skye here to tell us more about it. How are you guys this morning?
Great.
Doing good.
You good?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So Carmine, we'll start with you. You're the show manager for FrankfortCon. Tell us a little bit about yourself first.
Yeah, so I've been doing Comic-Cons probably since the age of 18. I've been a comic book fanatic. I opened up my first comic book store when I was 16. So I've been in the comic book industry for a while.
Yeah.
So I do like 8 shows a year. I travel to shows. So Frankfurt's one of my stops. I love Frankfurt,
Cool.
which I'll explain in a couple of minutes. But yeah, so my experience has been we've been doing shows since 18 years old, and I love bringing guests, and I love seeing everybody dressed up. Like you'll see Skye tomorrow all dressed up, and it's great. The cosplay community here in Frankfurt is unbelievable, and it's going to be a good turnout tomorrow. So I'm very excited. I love the format, I love the schedule, and I love the guests that we have this year.
And because you flew in Wednesday, right?
Yeah, I came from Wednesday.
So you fly into Frankfurt to put on the FrankfortCon.
Yes.
Why Frankfurt?
So I've been coming to Frankfurt since I was a little kid. So me and my dad used to go to the Derby every year. So one of our stops is always Frankfurt. We used to go to the governor's free pancakes in the morning there on the Saturday before the race.
Yeah. Okay.
So I remember this, and I used to stay at the Capitol Plaza Hotel, but that used to be the Holiday Inn back in the 90s.
Yeah.
So we would stay there, and I fell in love with the area. And I used to also promote wrestling matches at the convention center behind the plaza. So
that's awesome.
I love the town. I love that it's situated between two bigger cities like Lexington and Louisville, and I find Frankfurt right in the middle. So that's why I chose Frankfurt to bring the show, and it's our 4th year now. So
yeah, well, we're really glad that you chose Frankfurt.
Yeah, I love it here.
Yeah. So Skye, tell us a little bit about yourself and what character you're cosplaying today.
Okay. My name is Skye. I'm 16 years old. I've been cosplaying since October 2016. I'm Ochako from My Hero Academia. It's a really popular anime these days. I usually cosplay anime because that's just what I'm into, but I also cosplay from games like Danganronpa and Mario, and cosplay just means a lot to me, so I'm honored to be here.
My husband actually really likes My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
I do too,
It's a really good anime.
His favorite is All Might.
Okay.
That's his favorite character.
Yeah.
He's a good character.
He's a good character. What Mario character do you cosplay?
Tomorrow I'm gonna be in Princess Peach,
Nice.
most specifically her tennis costume. My first ever FrankfortCon, which was like the first FrankfortCon, I did do her dress and everything. And then for the, I think, 3rd one, I also did Princess Peach, but like better, because when you cosplay a lot, your skills get a lot better.
Yeah.
And so I usually do Peach because she's just a really good character and special character to me.
And what does cosplay mean for those who may not know?
Basically, cosplay is just like Halloween, but whenever you want to. So you can just dress up. You can dress up whoever you want to. You can buy it, or you can make your cosplay. There's just a lot of things that go into cosplay that like everyone is unique about it, and that's what I love about it. So it's just like Halloween, but whenever you want.
That's a nice way to look at it. We love Halloween around here, so yeah, I think that's a great way to look at it. And Skye, you'll be there tomorrow.
Yep.
But Carmine, tell us what else is going on tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow it's 10 from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So we have a great lineup of guests. Some of the guests include probably the top 10 comic book writers of all time. Peter David, he's done a lot of great Hulk, Aquaman. If you look at the new Aquaman movie, it's all based on his storyline.
Oh yeah.
The new Hulk, it's all based on Peter David. So he's one of our legends. He's our guest of honor. He doesn't do many shows, so I was happy that I caught him, and he said yes to FrankfortCon. And then we also have another comic book legend, Bob Wasiak. And Bob Wasiak's done, he's a famous cover of artist since the 60s all the way to now. He's done Wolverine, X-Men, you name it, Alpha Flight, Spider-Man. He's done them all. Yeah. So he's been a legend as well. We also have some See, I'm a big wrestling fan, so I've bought some wrestling, legends from the '80s. I grew up in the '80s, so I'm an '80s fanatic. So I love. I got the Killer Bees coming. I got Cowboy Bob Orton.
Oh, really? Bob Orton?
Yeah,
cool.
And then we also have Butterbean now, one of the most famous.
Yeah, I remember Butterbean.
Butterbean, so he's coming as well. So he's a famous boxer. But,
sure.
He's one of our attractions, and we also have the Mystery Machine, which is it's an ice cream. It's actually an ice cream truck. But it's they give out scones, Scooby-Doo scones.
Yeah.
He'll be there
that's
tomorrow
cool.
as well. And
So I can get ice cream
from the mystery machine.
From the mystery machine?
Yeah,
oh,
and you
boy.
can take your picture with it.
Okay. I'm in for that.
Yeah.
And then we have
dope.
panels, we have seminars, so you could do the one-on-one, meet the greet. You could ask
Oh,
the wrestlers
cool.
the questions.
And, like,
you can ask the-
autographs and stuff, too.
There'll also be a panel on if you want to get into the cosplay world, like Cosplay 101. So you could learn how to get into cosplay.
Oh,
And
that's
then we
interesting.
end off the event by our huge annual cosplay event, cosplay contest.
Oh.
So it's at 4 o'clock, and we have 4 different categories. We have best male, best female, best group, and then best kid.
Cool. And I assume Skye will be participating in the
Absolutely.
contest.
Oh, yes.
Great.
Yes.
That's
yes,
good.
yes. This guy's been with us since day one, so it's great.
That's always good. So you did mention it's at the Capitol Plaza Hotel.
Yes.
And I've been there in the past, so I kind of know what's there. But there's a couple different rooms that it happens in. Can you maybe explain the rooms a
For
little
sure,
bit?
yeah. So we have in the main hall, there's registration, and then we have a seminar room, and then we have the giant ballroom where all the vendors are. So we got over 125 vendors this year at the show. Now,
Oh my
they're not
goodness.
just in the ballroom. So then in the hallway, the pre-function room, we have all of our cosplay guests and some of our video game vendors. And then in the other big room, the caucus room, it's called the caucus room, we have all of our featured guests, like the wrestlers, the comic book artists, and we also can have a live play, a theater going on. I think it's The Princess Bride. So they were at another big show in Louisville a couple of months ago, and they approached us. So there'll be a live play going on from 11:30 and 2:30. So there's 2 different shows. I think they're like an hour each.
Wow.
So we have 3 giant rooms at the
Okay.
at the Capitol Plaza Hotel. And I forgot to mention, after the show, there's a huge after party as well.
Oh,
We're doing an after
Very
party.
cool.
Yeah, I just feel like we're getting a lot of.
It's new, right?
It's new. It's
Yeah,
the first time.
new. Yep.
We're getting a lot of people asking us, saying, "Hey, okay, we don't want to go home after the show.
Yeah, we keep
we
the
want
party
to do
going.
something.
Keep it
We're
going,
dressed up.
yeah.
Let's have a good time." I'm like, "Okay, fine. We'll do an after party."
It sounds like a good reason to me.
There you go.
Yeah, I know.
There you go.
So it sounds like there's a lot going on, but what goes into putting an event like this on? It sounds like a lot, like a huge undertaking.
Yeah, it is a lot of work. You gotta get the guests out from 1 year in advance to get people to come out, because people want to plan their day. Now it's not just people from Frankfurt. We get people from St. Louis coming, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, of course Lexington, Louisville. But I even got people coming from New Orleans to meet Butterbean. So it's,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of people are excited
That's a big
to see.
get, yeah.
So there's a lot of planning. So that's what I'm saying. You got to start planning to get the guests a year before.
Mm-hmm.
The venue's easy because they're ready for it, but then you got to get all the tables, the setups, the guests, the cosplay guests,
Mm-hmm.
and then all the vendors have to set up, and all the vendors have their own requirements. So it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
so
it's a lot.
it's 8 to 6 months ahead of planning
Yeah.
for one day event show.
Wow.
And I like keeping it as a 1 day event. Like the big Comic Cons are like 4 day events. I don't know how they do
Yeah.
it, but I love my 1 day events.
But something kind of interesting about FrankfortCon is it's 1 day, but it happens twice a year, right?
I did that on purpose because
Okay.
when we did the first show, it was only in the summer. It was only July, and a lot of people after the show were saying, it's quiet here in the wintertime. Why don't you bring a show in January? So I brought the show in January 2 years ago just to see how it would do. It did very well. So we do it now as a January and a July. We'll be back again July this year. July, it's July 11th.
Oh, good.
It's a Saturday. So we're back. So it's a 2-day show. I mean, not twice a year show.
Twice a year
Yeah.
show. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that's a good idea to try to do something in January, because it does get, we check out
Yeah.
the calendar around here and it gets a little sleepy sometimes
Yeah,
around
so people are
January,
excited.
February,
Even if
yeah.
it rains or snows tomorrow, I don't mind, because people want to get out of their house and go. It's an
Absolutely.
indoor event, so
Yeah.
it's something to do.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
so speaking of planning, Skye, how much planning goes into your cosplay outfits?
It really depends mostly on like schedule and budget. So just for me, since I'm a teenager and I don't have a lot of money, it just depends on sales and again, schedule.
Yeah.
And like for tomorrow, like I want to do Princess Peach. I had to plan that out a few months in advance. So it really takes a while, just depending on how eager you want to do a cosplay. Like I've made a cosplay in maybe like two days if I really wanted to wear it. So it really just depends on how you look at it and your budget and everything.
Yeah.
So
And what character you want to do and how extensive it's going to be
Exactly,
to
yeah.
go into that. Yeah. Do you have a favorite part of FrankfortCon?
I really like the cosplay contest. It's because I just like seeing everyone's cosplays and people like describe how they do stuff, how long it took, and there's a fountain, and it's beautiful for pictures as well because I'm an Instagrammer, so you got to get those pictures. And
absolutely.
That fountain is like absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
So it's like one of my favorite things too. So, and the vendors, of course. I like buying things for my room, and just it's great. Like I really love everything about it. But those are probably the key ones.
I love seeing stuff like that, like what vendors come up with, how they can kind of incorporate different sort of aspects of nerd culture into like their craft and what they do, and it's little homemade things that you can decorate your room with. I
just wanted to add what she was saying. Like I said before, I do 9 shows a year, but Frankfurt Con blows me away with the cosplay community here. It's the detail on some of these characters and how they set up for tomorrow and how they dress up for tomorrow is unbelievable. So the community here in Frankfurt is 10 out of 10 for sure in cosplay.
Nice. Wow.
Yep.
We have a fan question coming in on Facebook. Scott Stafford, our very own Scott Stafford, wants to know, since Carmine has been going to cons for so long, what creators has he gotten to meet, and who has he geeked out about the most?
Oh, wow. I've met them all.
I was just saying, being a wrestling guy, I'm sure, was it a wrestler that maybe...
Oh, yeah. So probably my favorite wrestlers, I love Greg the Hammer to Valentine. He was one of my favorites. But in terms of creators, I have had dinners one-on-one with Stan Lee.
Really?
Oh my goodness.
This is like 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
When he wasn't popular, but when he wasn't doing his Marvel movies, right? I've had dinner with Stan Lee. I've had dinners with Claremont. He's another famous creator. He created Wolverine and Phoenix and all the other gods of mutants. I've met them all. Frank Miller, another big, one of the most famous writers, right? He's everybody loves his work. So I can't. There's a list.
Yeah, you've seen the gamut.
I've seen them all. Like I've had time with them, and like I said, my other events, we bring out. Like just in Frankfurt, our last show, we had Jim Shooter here, which was Stan Lee's right-hand man for 35 years. So.
Yeah, we got to speak with him.
That's right. Scott kind of interviewed him.
Right. So he's another big legend, right? So that's good. Thanks for that question.
Yeah, no problem. Are there any future plans for expansion for FrankfortCon? You want to keep it? You said you like it the one day, the kind of the size it is.
Yeah. So, and I love the venue where I'm at, and I can even grow within the venue. There's other rooms I haven't touched.
Okay.
So if we do want to expand, there's other rooms we could expand into.
And it feels like it's probably going to expand.
Well, it is expanding. I think the big thing we're going to do in July is board games. We're going to bring in Dungeons and Dragons.
I am a Dungeons and Dragons nerd. I love Dungeons and Dragons.
We're looking at a format for a tournament for D&D. Cool. So we're getting a lot of feedback. Now, we are having a board game tournament tomorrow, but it's a Warhammer.
Warhammer, okay.
So it's a board game, and it's some magic involved in it as well. But people are getting a lot of we're getting a lot of requests for D&D. So we want to bring
D&D has definitely kind of come back into popularity recently. I love it. I play it all the time.
It's thanks to Stranger Things. A lot of people don't realize that because Stranger Things. Everybody started watching that show. Everybody got hooked on D&D again.
Everyone was incorporated Demogorgon into their games.
There you go. That's right. You got to get the Demogorgon. Absolutely.
So you said the next FrankfortCon will be July 11th. July 11th at the Capitol Plaza Hotel.
Capitol Plaza Hotel. Same thing. Same format, like 10 to 6. And
cool.
Well, we're working on some really good guests. Some announcements coming soon.
Oh, great. We'll keep our eyes peeled for that. We'll remind us again. The times tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Right?
Yeah. So tomorrow it's 10 to 6. It's at the Frankfurt Plaza Hotel. You can buy tickets online at frankfortcon.com, or you can just buy it at the door.
Okay. Same price at the door
too. It's $20, and kids under 11 are free.
Great.
There is an ATM machine. A lot of people always ask about cash and ATM machine. There is ATM machines.
Okay, great.
And vendors do accept cards as well. So it's not like before where you just had to run around.
Only.
Cash only. Everything's changed now, especially in the last 2 years. So yeah.
Well, great.
And there's a lot. To do. So it's
sounds
not
like it's
just
a full
for the
day.
nerds anymore. It's also for the family.
Yeah.
So the family's like getting dressed up. They're coming out. There's seminars. There's panels. There's cosplay guests. There's over 120 vendors. There's live plays.
There's live plays.
There's a lot of things to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any? Do you have another?
There's a comment. It says Nat Reynolds says that my daughter is super excited to meet Skye.
Oh,
so
that's so sweet.
Says she loves My Hero Academia. So
Me too.
That's really exciting.
It's such a good
perfect.
anime.
That's great.
Yeah. So thank you for coming on the show again.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Carmen and Skye,
me.
thank you guys so much. And folks, go and check out the Comic-Con tomorrow. It's going to be great.
I'll be there.
Yeah. Crystal will be there.
I'll be there.
Say hi to Crystal, too. Why don't you?
Yeah, I'll be there. So if you see me, come say hi.
Yeah.